Well, I first started calling races at the little county fairs in Wisconsin. The purses were $200 and $300, and we had some thoroughbreds and some Appaloosas and some just horses. And so I did that when I went to college, and then I got a job with the Racing Form after that, and I always wanted to be a track announcer. And I thought that if I got a job in the press box, that if an announcer got sick one day, I'd bravely barge in and say, I can do it, and then be discovered. It didn't quite happen that way, but I heard one morning in the racing office when I was the call taker at Cahokia Downs, East St. Louis, Illinois, that they were looking for an announcer at this place called Florida Downs. Prior to that, it was known as Sunshine Park. And lo and behold, I submitted a tape, and God bless John Hanley and Lorraine King, and they hired me, and this was my first job. Oh, I was really nervous. It was 1981, and it was the first $100,000 race I had ever called. And yes, very, very nervous. And I mean, a $100,000 race. I mean, I had never called a race, maybe 25,000 maybe. So a $100,000 race was a really big deal for me. And the horse that won Paristo went on and finished third in the Preakness, which was quite a feather in the cap of Florida Downs. I mean, because at that time, the quality of racing is nothing like it is today. They have done a fabulous job here over the decades, improving the product, improving customer service, improving the facility. There was no turf course when I started working here, and the racing surface has always been one of the best in the country. Horsemen love to run over this track. I did call Julie Krohn's first win. I remember it very distinctly. It was a horse called Lord Farkle, and he was this big, loping along chestnut gelding. He was trained by the St. Leons. I don't know if it was Gene St. Leon or his brother or his dad. That was a big family. They were all over the place. The silks were light brown and dark brown checks. And then Julie won the race. I don't think she was 16. She said she was 16, but I don't think she was. And she used to do this crazy thing. If you thought she was energetic now, you should have seen her when she was that age. She would stand on top, when she got to the winner's circle, she'd stand on top of the horse. And you know how Frankie Dettori does the flying? Right? No. She'd stand on top of the horse and do a backflip onto the winner's circle. The stewards told her to cut it out. This is the old office of, was Mr. Steinbrenner's office, and prior to that, Sam Davis, now the Sam Davis takes. So when you work at these little tracks, you have more than one job. So I was a track announcer, and I was the morning line maker. So it was part of my job to come in and sit on the other side of this table and talk to Mr. Davis because he loved to bet. He didn't bet. He'd make about 30 bets a race. He was a really crazy horse player, but he loved it. And so I'd have to come in and explain my morning line to him. So I came in one day, and he goes, "Tom, you made this horse. You made this horse 6-1. There's no way this horse should be 6-1." And I went, "Oh yeah." And he'd go, "That horse should be 20-1. What are you thinking of?" And so I picked it up and I looked down, and I didn't pick up on the fact that the horse hadn't been out for 2 years. And I said, "Well, I think he's going to run pretty good. That's why I made him 6-1. And he goes, "Oh, no." I said, "Well, you want to bet?" And so, sure. I'll bet you $20 he's at least 12-1. Mr. Davis went for it. Come around post time, he's 30-1, whatever. The pools were really small at that time. So I took $50, bet it to win. Horse went off in 10-1, so I bet 50 to win 20 and make sure Mr. Davis knew who was right. It was a bit of a combination of the two, whether I quit or whether I was fired. I generally say I was fired because it's more colorful, but I was the announcer here, and this would have been 1980, would have been 81, and they were extending the dates at Hialeah to run in that May. They were also extending the dates here. We usually didn't run in May, and so there was like a 10-day extension between both the meets, and the people at Hialeah, Mr. Bernetti, said, "Would you like to come next year and call the races in May?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And so Mr. Steinbrenner got wind of it, and he said, "You got a choice, but yeah, I remember him sitting right at this desk, and he said, I'm a proud man. The Yankees are a proud company. Tampa Bay's that was the name of it then. Tampa Bay's a proud track, and if you want to leave, you leave, but you're not welcome back." So that's what happened. And I did leave. And then very good things happened to me. So I can thank Mr. Steinbrenner for pride in organization.